Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is if you have your sun in Leo and your moon in Pisces. I believe somebody requested this. I can't find that comment, but I remembered that combination that I wanted to do it because my late pastor had that combination, and I had an interesting experience observing him in a setting that was outside of the church that I attended, where he was at the helm. Because, me saying a Leo person is at the helm is very, natural for a Leo person to take a leadership role in whatever field that they choose to go into. And with the moon in Pisces, something spiritual is a natural fit for such a person. One time I said on YouTube that I didn't think that Leo people were, sun sign people were very spiritual. And I got an earful because people were saying, no, that's not true. And I think they mentioned an astrologer named Alan Leo, and I think he actually was a Leo. I think that wasn't his real last name. But yeah, there definitely are going to be spiritual Leos. I think that I was just referring to what Leo stands for, which wasn't necessarily in that area. But this combination can be spiritual, and it can also be highly emotional and sensitive. So Leo as a sun sign and kind of the core personality that other people see is going to be confident and going to be extroverted. But if you have the moon, and you can also look at your rising sign in water or earth, the chances of you being more introverted go up quite a bit. And the reason I was talking about my pastor, I went to this event at another church. This was years ago, and this pastor has since passed away. But we were there to see some Indian woman who was like, I think she was the hugging saint or something like that. And we were sitting, he didn't see me, and I don't think he really recognized me because he had a big congregation. But we were sitting kind of apart, and I happened to see him across the room, and he looked sad to me. Now, of course, that could just be totally subjective on my part. Maybe he wasn't. But he didn't seem like the same person that I would see in the church who was the center of attention. And I think that some of you Sun and Leo people, you are very sunny, and certainly he was as well. But you may have those times of melancholy or just maybe uncertainty, insecurities, feeling, I guess melancholy could cover like feeling unloved or feeling like, feeling sorry for yourself, self-pity that comes up for you. I've often said that people with prominent water likely have trauma. Now, anybody can have trauma, but I'm talking about specific things that create a lot of emotional pain because you're already emotional. So it's hard for you to just kind of have something not touch you emotionally. And as children, we don't really understand what is happening. If somebody dies, somebody important dies, it's very difficult to not blame ourselves or to think that it's something to do with us. There is an egocentricity in children that is natural. So anyway, this is, I did another combination video where I was talking about, I think, Scorpio and Taurus, and I said No, it's some other combination, and it was kind of like the same thing of light and dark. But for you, it's not necessarily dark. It's just kind of um, bittersweet, maybe, is a better way of putting it. Um, and I think that you are extremely romantic, and so you could be a fool for love very easily, even though the sun in Leo is at the helm. You can lose yourself in love, and if you have inner planets in Cancer, I'm thinking, or even like Taurus, you might not be able to have, I don't know, forget about Taurus, but definitely like Cancer. There may be this tendency to be quite sentimental and just somebody who is very connected to their partner, and if that person leaves or that person wants to leave, they're not going to get their hooks out of that person. And so this is also a combination of somebody who can be very artistic, for sure. Leo rules the fifth house of creativity with the sign of the sun, or the planetary presence of the sun there, and that's a creative force. So this combination can definitely be, the moon is in Pisces, and that's ruled by Neptune, and that's very imaginative. So you have this wonderful combination for the arts, and that can include anything from performance to creation of paintings, music, literature, anything. But whether you do that for a living or not is a different story. Leos are natural leaders, but with the moon in Pisces, it can be a little bit tricky because you may find it hard to lay down the law. Your emotions are easily stirred, and it's very easy to manipulate you through flattery and sob stories. You're incredibly generous, and with the Leo energy and even the Pisces, and that can make you an easy mark for somebody. That's why I said you could be a fool for love, too. But on the flip side, you can be a very entertaining person. You can be somebody who is, very colorful individual. People know that about Leo, but I don't think people realize that about Pisces. Jackie Gleason was a sun in Pisces, and he reminded me of a Leo. So I might have looked him up, and he might have had the moon in Leo, but I'm not sure. But that a Pisces person can take on the characteristics of any sign that have preceded it, and it's the last sign of the zodiac. So I have observed Pisces people acting persnickety like Virgos, boisterous like Sagittarians, and very entertaining like Leos. When you think about somebody, I was going to say entertaining like Leos, and I was going to mention Jackie Gleason, but I shouldn't because I don't know what his moon sign is. But they can people with the moon in Pisces can also have be characters. So just a few words about career. Be sure that because you've got the moon in Pisces, you can be very empathic, and so pay attention to that and respect that in terms of whatever career you get into, because Leo people can be very ambitious, workaholics, and competitive, and you may overestimate your ability to do this, and your emotional nature is such that you are very compassionate and you don't want to necessarily run roughshod over somebody else. and just so that you can get ahead. You have a very, I was going to say humanitarian streak, but that's not really, that would be more like Aquarius. You just have a very caring side to you that thinks of others before yourself. However, the Leo energy, which is your sun sign and is much more of a thrust into the outer world, is in the masculine element. So it can maybe negate some of those things, and you might still have that burning ambition and not realize that emotionally it can take its toll on you. So you would make a great teacher of something that has a spiritual nature. So like a yoga teacher, somebody who is trying to, like a life coach would be a great occupation for you, because you are very, very positive, have a can-do spirit. And if you did go through some things when you were younger, with the Pisces energy, you will be able to explain to people how you got past it. And you can dramatize things. You would make a great salesperson in general, because a Leo person is a natural ham and actor. And the only danger is that you might exaggerate things. And Pisces can also get lost in a role. So if you're in the role of this salesperson, you can be very convincing, but you want to make sure that you're telling the truth, that you're not gilding the lily and saying things just to make a sale. The interesting thing about love is that the Leo part of you might actually be the loyal part. The moon in Pisces sometimes is fickle, because as I've said this before with other videos I've done with moon in Pisces, love the one you're with could be the motto, because Pisces in the moon sign is super, what's that word? Impressionable. So when this type of person is in the company of others, it depends on that company. So it's very important that you surround yourself with people who are on the up and up, who are doing good stuff in life, because you might find yourself kind of losing yourself in, or being influenced by them. Even though Leo is very independent and, strong in that sense, emotionally, especially if the I was going to say if lust takes over too, because I feel like Leo is a very lusty sign, and even Pisces can be, come to think of it, that you start to lose your logic, and it becomes something where you are carried away by a particular person. And if they are very strong themselves, you may find yourself bending to their will, even though in normal circumstances you might be a lot more assertive. And again, on the positive side, you can be a very generous person, a very caring individual, softened with that moon in Pisces, that the sun is not so arrogant. Sometimes Leos can think they're better than other people. Usually this is going to be more of the challenging side of things, the lower expression. So I still get people saying, I'm not like that, or blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't mean that this is all Leos. This is just talking about the ones who are, maybe they have an afflicted sun, or something else going on. The sun in a house that makes them a little bit more dictatorial. I was going to say, like, if their sun is in the 10th house, um, or maybe their sun is in conjunction with Pluto or something. Maybe that's a better example. Not really the 10th house. That might be a leader, but it doesn't have to be a narcissist. Yeah, like if the sun has a hard angle to Pluto, or it's in conjunction with Pluto, there just can be some things. Let's put it that way. And even like the sun square Mars can make you more have a chip on your shoulder. And I notice, I think there's a difficulty too when it's in Scorpio, when the Mars is in Scorpio, because the person already has a very cutthroat attitude. They might be ambitious in such a way that works against them and others. So there's so many things going on that I can't really get into, but if you have a well-aspected sun or something like that, you're probably going to be in a position where that warmth that Leo exudes combines with the compassion of Pisces, and it can produce a caring friend, family member, or love partner. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.